Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Talos Principle 2. Universal activation. That. Okay, so those activators will activate anything inside their sphere, but need to be
I just
powered up.
wanted to say that I appreciate the work all of you have been doing. I know I'm not a natural leader like Byron, but it means a lot to me that you've stuck with me.
They have to be activated either by being inside the activation sphere of another activator or a certain color of laser. Hmm. Okay, there is an activator in there. What is this puzzle called? Chain reaction. Oh, 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 oh. There we go. Anthropos. Okay. The Folly of Time from 42 Tales by Athanasios. 121. The spirit of time was angry at Stratton of Stygira, for the old philosopher had asked questions that were forbidden. Hold on. If man is no more than dust, it said to him, then I shall turn you back to dust, and my winds will disperse you to the far corners of the world. Thus you will be nothing, and your questions will trouble me no more. So time did, and Stratton of Stygira was nothing. But Stratton's voice did not cease, and time was perplexed. All across its domain it searched for Stratton, yet he was nowhere to be found. Only his books remained, and of these men made copies, and Stratton's voice grew louder. Now time was furious, but Stratton laughed and laughed and laughed. From Mitku to Athena. Dear Athena, Byron once asked me why we seem unable to perceive the dam. I asked him what he meant, and he said that people cannot seem to really grasp the dam as an object. They can be moved by the side of a mountain or a gorge, but the dam seems insignificant to them. Look at it, he told me. Just look at it and try to understand that people made that. Try to really see it. It took me a while to fully understand what he meant. It takes conscious effort to open one's mind to the ecstatic beauty that is hidden in every human accomplishment. Further conscious effort to maintain this ability. If only we were capable of seeing this beauty by default, the world might be a very different place, but it seems the ancients had the same problem. Why am I writing this to you, who may not even be reading these messages? Because today is one of those days when it feels like I'm the only one who still sees that beauty. I tried talking about it to Lynerx, but while I admire her principles, she isn't open to a more poetic experience. Or perhaps I just expressed myself awkwardly. I don't know. All I know is that it's hard to see something so beautiful and not be able to share it. Respectfully, Miku. Oh. Permeability. Ah, okay.
I must admit, these truly are astonishing sights. But what on earth is any of it good for? Why not just let mountains be mountains?
Um, where? Where's the receiver? Oh, is it on top of the box? Okay, so I need to use this to hold it at the very end. Hmm. Omnidrome final result. It's funny, I suppose. For the longest time, I wondered whether that old human self-hatred we somehow carried with us was Milton. I thought he might have corrupted us, overwhelmed us with his cynicism, but I was being unfair. Whatever it is, it's not Milton, it's us. Still, this excursion into solipsism hasn't been entirely for nothing. The Somnodrome technology provides an excellent basis for a better way of directly interfacing with the Noema project. I'm a Project 12. Trials, not synthesis, but creation. Cornelius would be so excited. Tests confirm underlying patterns. Auxiliary site shut down. Whoops. From Benaroya. R.E. Misanthropy. Dear Athena, you asked me about the persistent strain of misanthropy in human culture. Complicated topic that has come up multiple times in my research. Here's my best attempt at a short, cohesive answer. I think our ancestors, like ourselves, were deeply invested in the idea of building, of transforming their environment. They found meaning and pleasure in this, and did not perceive it as a negative, so long as they had a sense of participating in this act. I think the reason that they so frequently reached for a romantic return to the past, the fantasies of living self-sufficiently in rural environments, is not because they rejected industrial-scale activity per se, but because the return to the land provided a fantasy of returning to a form of participation that had been lost. They needed and wanted to build, create, and produce, but only if they felt they had a stake in what they were producing. Without that, the products of civilization began to seem like an alien force gradually spreading out across the world and ruining it. They needed a dream, and if the future was barred to them, then by necessity they must dream of the past. I hope you and Cornelius are well. Will you be coming to Hypatia's new exhibition? I know you have much on your mind, but you are missing out on a lot of exciting new cultural developments. Who could have thought, in those early days, that one day there would be so many of us that the arts would start to flourish again? Much love, Benaroya. I went back and found this message after all these years because something about it had lodged in my mind. I wasn't ready to understand it back then, because I needed to be a leader. Maybe that was the problem. It should have been our dream, not mine alone. Atlas 2. How Atlas cast off the world. For a billion years, Atlas had borne the weight of the world on his back. The old Titan was tired of the responsibility and tired of his labor of ages not being appreciated. Why did the mortals not understand that his work was the foundation of all they did? Finally, he'd had enough. With one swift move, he shrugged off the cosmos. Now they'd see. The cosmos went rolling on through infinity, leaving Atlas behind. The mortals went about their business, hardly noticing his absence. He was astonished. Had the world never needed him in the first place? Had all his toil been for nothing? So he turned his back on all mortal matters and instead set himself to discovering the secrets of eternity. Only after many long years had passed did the cosmos, in its endless cycle, pass by through his domain once more, and only then did Atlas and the mortals realize that they had missed each other, and each was lesser without the other. Though Atlas no longer carried the cosmos, instead he embraced it. Balance.
touch the bridge device?
You can, but should you?
Okay.
Hey, how do I get up there? Oh, it's not up there, it's behind it. Two to three. Hmm. There we go. There we go.
Cornelius and Athena created something amazing. They just misunderstood what it was. They thought their great invention was the megastructure. But in fact, it was Miranda. And because they couldn't see that, they lost her. Hmm.
Okay, let's just keep working around the map. Ascend. Okay. There we go. Ah. Oh, duh. There we go.
Mayor Hermanubis, what would you say is your impression of the expedition so far?
I think Alcatraz has done a heck of a job under these very trying circumstances.
What about the decision to free Prometheus?
Freeing the Prometheus entity was a calculated risk. But if it leads us to Byron, it was certainly worth it. It is saving one of our citizens that must be our first priority, not this alleged theory of everything.
All right, she's booting up. Almost there.
Hello. I was in a dream, and a voice spoke to me from the sky. He said you were old friends of his. Who are you?
My name is Athena. I am your mother.
And I'm Cornelius, your father.
Thank you for creating me. I've not existed for very long, but so far it seems wonderful. I hope it's not a strange question. But, who am I?
You can be whoever you want to be. And no matter what you choose, you will be loved and cherished and supported.
We will always be there for you. And I promise, we will show you a world full of miracles. Would you like to pick a name?
I think I would like to be called Miranda.
Alright, now it's through.
An excellent solution.
fly. Hmm. Hmm. Oh, okay. There we go. The New Theology. From The New Theology by George Bernard Shaw. When you are asked, where is God, who is God, stand up and say, I am God, and here is God, not as yet completed, but still advancing towards completion, just in so much as I am working for the purpose of the universe, working for the good of the whole of society and the whole world, instead of merely looking after my personal ends. In that way, we get rid of the old contradiction. We begin to perceive that the evil of the world is a thing that will finally be evolved out of the world, that it was not brought into the world by malice and cruelty, but by an entirely benevolent designer that had not as yet discovered how to carry out its benevolent intention. In that way, I think we may turn towards the future with greater hope. My brother Eustathius told me that he thought this passage was beautiful, but also diminished the connection to the sublime he felt when simply looking at the world itself. What do you think? I agree with Shaw's sentiment. I don't know if the miracle of existence, the beauty of creation, is exactly the same as the human sublime, if that makes sense. I don't want to look at the universe and see myself reflected, even a future me. Okay, another attempt at explaining. The beauty of the universe and the beauty of what we can accomplish within it are two related but separate things, and the separation matters. Sorry, I'm not sure how to express this any better. Counting 12, day 1012. I am now cohabiting with Sarabai. This is by choice, not necessity. It's strange but pleasant to find your life so enmeshed with that of another person. What we both came to realize is that together we are more than the sum of our parts. Something emerges from our interactions that is wholly transcendent, unique, and necessary. I had observed this before between Athena and Cornelius, but experiencing it yourself is quite the revelation. We did have that, and it was beautiful. I should have treasured it more. Trevor 11.
Actually, let me issue a correction, okay? I said Alexandra doesn't see the bad stuff about humanity. But she does. She sees it, and somehow she sees past it. She doesn't ignore it. She can just see one step farther. Like, there's this mountain of garbage ahead of us, right? And that's all most of us will ever see. And she somehow sees beyond to, I don't know, the promised land? I don't do metaphors, or similes, or whatever this is. I mean, you don't care. I'm dead, and you're a robot. But her ability to look reality in the eye, to see all the bad stuff out there and still have hope, I mean, it's amazing. I mean, I think that's why yeah. You know what? Let's not go there. There's still so much work, and Chernyshevsky doesn't have much time left.
Oh, he's in love with Alexandra Drennan.
I mean, who does these days?
Wait a second, I see it over there.
told much about what the citizen owes the city. Loyalty, obedience, gratitude. And I will not argue with those who say that without some loyalty to a greater good, a man is little more than a savage. And I will even say that these days there are more savages amongst us than amongst the barbarians, who we call savages out of ignorance and arrogance. But there is another question that we are rarely encouraged to ask. What does the city owe the citizen? What must it offer to earn loyalty, obedience, and gratitude? And if, as we have said, a city is a kind of machine, should a machine that does not fulfill its purpose perhaps be repaired or replaced?
Wait, there's a fan over there. Oh. I wonder. Is the trick not that there's a laser receptor, but I need to activate it with an activator? Oh, right. There was that, right. There's that accumulator hidden behind a wall. That's right. It was over here somewhere. Right, okay. Okay, is there a driller hidden somewhere around here then? There's something on that ledge over there? Hey, yeah, there's something. New drill. Wrong way. Oh. Okay, well, I need to find a way to get a drill outside the puzzle. However, I go about doing that. Or find a drill that has a line of sight on that wall, but I don't know. I don't see how there could be one. It's up this way. Anything up there? Nothing that I can see. Okay, so I get what I need to do now. Get a drill to get the activator out of there. Set up that beam, and then use the beam to turn on the activator and activate Pandora. Yeah, the question is, where is a drill that I can use to get through that wall? Which puzzle had it? No. Wrong way. Okay, this is the one with the driller. Yeah, I don't see a way to get that out of there. Oh, I thought that might have been a cave, something, but no. Backward. There we go.
Sometimes new citizens come to me and they want to learn from me. My work appears to have created a legend of sorts. In these moments, I understand your situation. I want to teach them, but what they must learn the most is independence of thought. How does one resolve this contradiction? They wish to come along on my journeys, but I do not need a group of fawning acolytes following my every step. A journey truly worth undertaking is rarely easy. And so, I have begun to think of a much greater challenge. A journey that is almost impossible, to the far ends of the world without any mechanized means of transportation. This will be a true act of faith, and they will learn a great deal from it, if we survive.
Okay, I think that's another quote-unquote hidden puzzle. There. Yes, I believe. Can't tell what's in there. Okay, where does that fan take me? Where did it go? It. What?
To create, to understand, and to transform, these are the greatest acts of humankind.
Okay, there's not a drill in here. Okay. Okay, I am... gonna do one last sweep. See if I can find what I need. If not, I'm close enough to the ending that I am comfortable coming back later. See if the thing that will help me is behind the golden gate or not. Hold on. Something here? No. Dang it. Can't help but feeling there's a drill tucked away in some little out of the way place that I'm just missing. Maybe the drill is hidden somewhere over here. The game has done that before.
A long time ago, the Sphinx asked you about my story. You said that Zeus did not intend for humankind to have hope. But you were wrong. Zeus knew that we cannot live without hope, and hope still exists in this world. But it is not in the flame or in these towers. It lives in the hills and the forests, in the rivers and the seas. You were given a world full of hope, creature of clay. It is yours to protect.
Hope is not in nature, it is in people.
People will fail you, creature of clay. When the time comes, they will abandon you. Heed my words.
So, Melville, what do you make of these beams? Do they seem safe to you?
Nothing is really safe. You could kill yourself with a fork, and I'm sure someone has. But anything can be used safely if you choose to.
I see.
Ow. A warning. I've tried to remain silent on the development of our city to allow the younger generations to find their own path, but now I feel now that I must intervene. We have reached a dangerous inflection point. This farcical reactionary belief in the goal of limiting our growth will lead directly to the creation of a class society. The foundations already exist. Do you think the leaders of the various pseudo-secret societies that lobby for influence with the mayor are subject to the same power cuts as the rest of you? Do you think the mayor has to worry about how much power he uses? Societies which have essentially no resources may be egalitarian in some sense, but a society that produces insufficient resources, energy in our case, will inevitably evolve into a class society. History assures us of that. The true failure of our ancestors was not their impact on the ecosystem, which was epiphenomenal, but their failure to overcome primitive forms of resource distribution, allowing their fate to be determined by the interests of isolated elite groups. We are not avoiding that mistake, but creating the conditions for its repetition. I assure you that no one is exempt from our power management and distribution plan. We're all in this together. Yes, I totally believe that. I've always respected your scholarship, Benaroya. I will take this seriously and think about it. Some people have to lead and others have to follow. That's only natural. And of course, there should be advantages to being a leader, to encourage people. Class society is forming, but to fight it, we must reject all authority. Ooh. Benaroy is right. This is a future we must avoid. We can grow while avoiding the mistakes of the past. Thank you, 1K. It is encouraging to see that the value of freedom has not been entirely forgotten in New Jerusalem. A society without resources is an unfree society, and only with freedom can civilization truly thrive. Mayor Hermanubis. I'm sorry, I know Mayor Herman worked hard and helped pull the city out of a period of crisis, but this isn't the future we deserve. None of us. We all deserve better. Yeah, we should have listened to Byron. I always told myself all those public debates were boring. Who wants to get involved in city affairs? And lately I've been thinking, yeah, that's why there's so much stuff I'm unhappy about, because we all collectively gave up trying. Maybe things can finally change. You have no idea how badly I need something new to happen. We have the potential to imagine a better world, and if we can imagine it, then we can make it happen. You're all delusional. Nothing will ever get better. You're only saying that because you've never known a world where things get better. You think the tiny sliver of history you've experienced is all there is, because that's all Mayor Herman has ever allowed you to see. But there is so much more. This is not the place for personal attacks on the mayor. Thread closed. High Plain, high altitude plateau in the island's western mountain range. The surrounding region often has restricted visibility due to fog.
We're getting closer. I hope Byron is still okay.
Prometheus seemed to think so. Let's hope he's trustworthy.
Another remarkable structure. But what can its purpose be?
Actually, I can answer this one. In the files 1K downloaded, there's a design for a launch pad for space vehicles. This is about 90% identical.
Is it functional?
I don't think so, not if the inside is like the other towers.
Wow.
Imagine if it worked.
From
Imagine
within.
if we could go up there. I mean, the stars, not the top of the tower. Although, that would be cool too.
Hmm. Ah. And now I'm on the other side. Unjam it. Yeah. Or jam it, rather.
In their notes, Athena and Cornelius called what they were doing the Noema Project. But in 1K's vision, they just called it the Machine. Because when you strip away all the fancy rhetoric, that's all it is. It's not a source of meaning or purpose. It's just another machine.
In flight. Okay. The lab. From Cornelius. Athena, I don't know if you're there or why you're not answering. It's been a long time, but I think about you and Miranda every day. In fact, I've been using the museum to further my research, and I think there is hope. You know I wouldn't say this lightly. Please respond. I will return as soon as I can. I'll steal a VTOL if I have to. Yours, Cornelius. Okay, remaining instabilities eliminated. Final confirmation. Trial 90,058. Version 1.0 successfully deployed. It is done. What now? Motherhood. Motherhood, 12 essays by Inessa Peixoto. Sometimes I imagine myself following the matrilineal line up against the river of time to the lives of my distant great-grandmothers. I try to imagine the sheer horror of motherhood, the agony of childbirth, the risk of death with every birth, the certainty of losing some of one's children. To us now, the loss of a child is a horror almost beyond words, a grief so deep it seems almost insurmountable. I try to imagine what it meant to live in a world where it was a ubiquitous reality, where you could only choose to respond with either an ever-deepening pain or an inhuman numbness. And all of it tied to the foundation stone of your existence, the body. This journey to the past reminds me that my freedom as a woman is on some level technological. Without medical technologies, I am reduced to the cruel logic of nature, which cares about nothing except reproduction. Without machines, I become a machine. Only machines allow us to be more than machines ourselves. From Spugna. Dear Founder, I heard a story that you left because you had discovered a way for us to become beings of flesh. Please, Founder, if this is true, please tell me how to achieve this miracle. I hate being a creature of metal and plastic, an abomination to the earth. Every day I curse myself for being immortal, for mindlessly consuming energy, for being so unlike the graceful animals to whom the planet truly belongs. I have stripped as many parts from this vile skeleton as I can, but it is not enough. I am still a machine. For the longest time, I couldn't understand the source of my unhappiness, and I sought to blame our mayor and his associates for the decisions that made my life so miserable. But now I see that my problems aren't external at all. And it's all me. And if I could change myself, if I could make myself truly human, I would be happy. Please, Founder, take pity on me. Yours in faith, Spugna, 932. From Hypatia. Dear Athena, I've been following the expedition to this incredible machine you've built. I don't know what's going on, and I wish Cornelius had told us the truth before he vanished. I wished both of you had told us everything from the beginning, to be honest. It was unfair to just abandon us. But then, I abandoned you too, didn't I? After we lost Sarabai, I couldn't see anything except the unbearable permanence of her absence. It took me centuries to start getting involved again. But I did, Athena. I came back, and so can you. Love, Hypatia. Precision. Hmm. There we go.
The scale of it all is truly breathtaking.
It really is.
But is it a human scale? Or is it so enormous that it can only alienate us? Humans have always been happiest in small communities.
Small town paranoia, isolationism, and peasant mentality. Great for burning witches, not so great for personal freedom.
Ever the pessimist?
In the simulation, I found myself thinking how hard it must have been for Alexandra to die without knowing if her sacrifices were worth it. It seemed like a tragic end to an inspiring, meaningful life. But now I realize her whole life must have been a struggle. To maintain that faith in humanity when so many people around her insisted that humans are evil, worthless, when they were so lost in self-hatred that they would call their own species a virus. How did she do it? How did she maintain her faith when they were so determined to hate themselves? So determined to reject every solution, every analysis, every step towards controlling the forces that were causing their problems, when they rejected even the concept of progress itself, and then patted themselves on the back for it as if that was original. When I look at the archives now, all I can see is that their leaders were short-sighted idiots and their intellectuals were unimaginative cowards. All they could offer people was a downward trend. Fewer rights, fewer freedoms, fewer resources for anything that mattered. They must have hated Alexandra and everything she stood for. So how did she have so much faith?
Hey, 1K. I wanted to take a moment to talk to you. I know we're all worried about Byron, especially Al, and I don't want to minimize what happened. But now that the mayor's here, I'm afraid afraid they're going to take this and turn it into a reason to bury their head in the sand. Yes, Byron was rash. He wanted to find Athena so badly that it made him blind. But the thing is, he was right. He was completely and utterly right about what this technology could mean to us. I didn't see it at first, but now it couldn't be more clear to me. The theory of everything is the future. And if we reject it, we're condemning ourselves to a slow death.
I agree.
I'm glad. You know, I didn't even realize how much I'd limited my own imagination. How I talked myself into just accepting this incredibly poor future we'd been offered. A future where things just keep getting slightly worse every day, and we accept it because we're ashamed of ourselves. Not of something we've done, but just of our existence. Like we're a virus on this planet. Like our humanity is a sin. I'm so tired of it, 1K. I kept my head down. I focused on fixing things. But that's all I ever did. I never improved anything. I never built anything new. And when I imagine going on like this for thousands of years, that's a fate worse than death. It really is. Either we accept, like you said, that it's our cosmic duty to spread consciousness, and we do it boldly and proudly, or we might as well switch ourselves off.
We'll find a way.
We better, because I don't think I can handle the alternative.
Trevor End. The end of Trevor. It's people like Trevor as much as it is people like Alexandra who make the future happen. People with silly names like Trev, who aren't famous, who aren't geniuses, who aren't driven by a powerful vision of the future. Ordinary people whose work and sacrifice isn't even acknowledged or remembered. I will remember you, Trevor. You too held the world on your shoulders. Thank you. From Triclinius. Dear founder, Byron and I used to go to the hills above the dam and observe the stars with the telescopes that I built. When I saw the stars like that, I felt such awe that I wished we had the ability to cry. I felt wonder, but I also felt recognition. I was seeing my home. The sea of stars is where we came from, and it's where we must return. I had so much hope then. I knew one day we would set sail. We would fly through the clouds of the nebulae. We would cruise across planets where it rains diamonds. We would follow the fading light of distant supernovas until at last we met our brothers and sisters of the cosmos. I could feel that day coming. I can't anymore, and I don't know how to live this way. Triclinius 333. Sarabai. In memory still bright. I lived with Sarabai for nearly a century. I will not pretend that all the days were good. Some were terrible. She was opinionated. She could be difficult. She could be unfair. So could I. Sometimes we hurt each other, though we rarely meant to. But most days were good, and some days were great. A great day with Sarabai made you feel different, made you feel like something had been revealed to you about the nature of the universe itself, some innate goodness at the heart of all things. Like Nadia Sarabai, whose name she adopted, she believed in the existence of something sublime beyond the material world. I hope she was right. I hope she's still somewhere. I hope she's not trapped in that broken body I tried so hard to repair. I was advised to let her go, to get over my attachment. I tried, but it was the wrong advice. Love is what makes us human, and we should count ourselves blessed that we can experience it. My attachment is what kept me sane, what anchored me to this world. Even in death, she saved my life. I am grateful for the days that we got, but no amount of days would have been enough. Love is not finite, and it is for infinity that we must strive. I will do so for all of you who may still find love in honor of Sarabai. Hypatia. If I had been more careful, New Alexandria would never have happened, and Sarabai would still be alive.
Everybody's gone except me and Alex. She's upstairs somewhere. Haven't talked to her in days. The only reason why I know she's still alive is she's submitting bug fixes. I still have a lot to do myself. I've almost got the the tertiary backup thing working. This is the one that's really gonna last if everything else breaks. And you know what? I think everything else might. The MLA still giving me all these hiccups, but I don't know. I'm not a software guy. All the software guys, yeah, they're dead. God, these these time capsules went a bit sideways, didn't they? I was gonna tell you all about myself and John Carpenter and all that stuff, but mostly I just told you about Alex. Funny. I wonder if I should just... I should just tell her, you know? Just tell her. Just tell her. Maybe later. I gotta finish this first.
appears and God is light to those poor souls who dwell in night. But does a human form display to those who dwell in realms of day?
Ah.
Are the generators working?
Yep, all good. Those Mark IIs are real workhorses. Wow, did you finish the setup?
Yes. Sorry I couldn't wait. It was so much fun to just do something again without having to endlessly discuss it first.
I know what you mean. We have a lot of work ahead of us, though.
We do, but honestly, Cornelius, I haven't felt this excited in years. Just imagine, one day they'll come here and we'll be able to show them a whole new world. A different future right at their fingertips. You do think we can do it, right?
I think, and forgive me if this sounds sentimental, as long as we're together, we can do anything.
Other way around the platform. Or not the platform, but just other side.
A hammer forges, and a hammer breaks. But who can know the heart of the blacksmith?
Hexahedral stacking.
not surprised that the founder chose you, 1K. You're very much like her. Inquisitive, intelligent, and dedicated. But remember, intelligence by itself has little value unless it is ethically applied.
Jurassic justice. It's impossible from an AMA with Alexandra Trent. It's impossible not to love any character played by Jeff Goldblum, of course, and Ian Malcolm gets some of the best lines. The main reason he became an in-joke at Ian is just that he's memorable and funny. If we want to talk about what he represents on a more serious level, then I have to say that I personally think he's wrong. This neurotic fear that things will always go wrong, that we can never really have control over what we do, is misplaced. There's legitimate critique of how the park operates, the science being subjected to the pursuit of profit, but that doesn't mean it can't be done differently. And if you'll excuse me going full nerd here for a moment, why treat bringing back the non-avian dinosaurs as some kind of transgression? The extinction of these magnificent creatures wasn't some sort of intentional step forward, it was just a random catastrophe. If we could strike a blow at the obvious cruelty of the universe, that's an act of human justice. No less wrong than bringing back species we've accidentally driven to extinction. Horrible things happen all the time. Evolution favors survival, not beauty. If we can make the universe more beautiful, if we can add to biodiversity and bring back things that were lost, we absolutely should. Hell, maybe one day we terraform a planet and populate it with dinosaurs. This time we give them an asteroid defense system. Take that, Mother Nature. This is the Alexandra Drennan that I love most. Dreaming of all the good we humans could do in the world. I try to hang on to that. Expansion. Excerpted from Orthodoxy by G.K. Chesterton. But the expansion of which I speak was much more evil than all this. I have remarked that the materialist, like the madman, is in prison, in the prison of one thought. These people seem to think it singularly inspiring to keep on saying that the prison was very large. The size of this scientific universe gave one no novelty, no relief. The cosmos went on forever, but not in its wildest constellation could there be anything really interesting. Anything, for instance, such as forgiveness or free will. So these expanders of the universe had nothing to show us except more and more infinite corridors of space, lit by ghastly suns and empty of all that is divine. Here Chesterton's imagination, normally so powerful, fails him utterly. The problem is that he is not interested in the universe, and so not only does he fail to see, he fails to even look. He finds what he expected to find. Exactly, and so he misses not only the grandeur of the universe, but the miracle that is magnified by contrast, that forgiveness and free will do exist within people. Of Heracles and Atlas, from the Atlas Variations. When Heracles came upon Atlas, the Titan had grown old and tired. I have borne the weight of the celestial spheres for 1 billion years, he said. All the comings and goings of mortals, the tragedies of chance, the pointless wars have left me weak. Soon I will falter, and the celestial spheres will fall and shatter. You must take my place. But Heracles was hesitant. I am young and strong and virile. I have many women yet to bed, and many wondrous feats yet to perform. What a waste it would be to spend my life holding up the world instead, and yet it must be done. What choice do I have? Saddened by the imminent loss of his heroic life, Heracles went for one last swim in the Ionian Sea. There, on storied Ithaca, he met a clever old man of many devices. The answer you seek, son of Zeus, does not lie within you. Rather, it lies in the world around you, and in what you can make of it. So Heracles used his divine strength to build 2 great pillars of stone, which even today hold up the sky, and Atlas was liberated forever. Okay. Rerouting. Yeah, there we go.
We're making good progress.
What was that called? Rerouting. Okay. Is there even a future? Looks like a lot of people are getting excited about how things are going to change, but all I can see is another repetition of the same mistakes. Ecocide, hubris, self-destruction. Why would anything be different this time? You have to hope, even if it's not rational. So you just have faith? Wasn't not having faith the whole point of what Athena experienced with Elohim? And wasn't the stupidity of faith confirmed by this whole founder nonsense? The point of Athena's experience in the simulation was questioning, not total, aimless doubt. What do you mean? To escape the simulation, Athena had to have faith of a kind too. Faith that finding out the truth was inherently worthwhile, otherwise she would have ended up like Samsara or the messengers. Okay, point taken. Maybe I'm being too negative. In memory still bright, I would like to thank 1K for recovering all of Trevor's recordings. It's clear that they meant a lot to Athena, and they should mean a lot to us too. He is as much our progenitor as Alexander Dren was. We should not forget him. It's all a love story. It's all a love story in the end. All of human history. Even when people die or even have the chance to get to know each other. Love is the only thing that survives the abyss of time. Without the love Trevor felt for Alexandra, without the love Alexandra felt for us, none of us would be here, and nothing would matter. Thank you, 1K. As tragic as this story is, it gives me hope. And who knows, perhaps she loved him too, or could have. Theory of everything. I've been around a long time. If I'd been born a bit earlier, I'd be a first companion. So I've seen the ups and downs of this city, although in recent years I've kept to myself. Now I'd like to pose a question. I don't have an answer in mind, I'd just really like to hear what everyone thinks. I have no doubt that Athena's theory of everything would change our lives, but do you think that perhaps we're better off not knowing? That perhaps having all the answers would make the universe boring? Ancient writers showed that knowledge can lead to cynicism. We must maintain the sense of wonder of a child. The theory of everything wouldn't be the end of our journey, it would only be the next step. It would equip us to ask the next set of questions, to explore new possibilities, and to discover and create wonders. To believe that the universe can be understood or described in objective terms is pure scientism. Nothing exists. Even if something exists, nothing can really be known about it. And even if something somehow be known about it, information about it can't be communicated. And even if it could be communicated, it would not be understood. The truth can be harsh. It's possible that the theory of everything would reveal facts that we'd find hard to deal with, but that doesn't mean we should not confront those facts in our own ethical responsibilities. I agree with Atal. Thank you for your thoughtful comments, and by the way, 1K, thank you for all the hard work you've done for New Jerusalem. Solving all those puzzles is quite a gargantuan endeavor. Hello. Mobile instrument.
signs of Cornelius. Could he have returned to the island?
Nothing so far. But he knows this place better than any of us, and we have no idea what he's up to.
Alright. Gateway switch. Okay. Hmm. Oh, okay. There we go. Alternator. Alright, that appears to be all the extra puzzles, so the golden gates should now be open. Alright, last regular puzzle in the game. Photon Sail. Hmm. Oh, can I take that box? Or no, the fan. Yes.
I'm impressed.
In my reports to you, I have often spoken about this island in terms that some might perceive as negative. I hope you understand that the opposite is true. Here in these green hills, I see tremendous potential for transformation and spiritual awakening. I do not see the world as you do, Athena, but I see the rot at the heart of New Jerusalem. If you and Cornelius want to go through with your plan, then this is the perfect place. My students and I will help you transport the remaining tech from New Alexandria. After that, once you and Cornelius are settled, we will leave for our great journey. I can only hope that we all find what we are looking for.
There we go.
You have heard the myths of gods and titans. But as you approach the end of your journey, I will tell you the truth that all men fear. The truth that neither Pandora nor the Sphinx will face. There are no gods, son of man. There are no titans, no heroes to save you, no divine judge to weigh your soul against a feather. Nature has no will, and she is not your mother. There is only you, and the spark of the sublime that is your mind. As for myself, I never brought the flame to humankind as the stories tell. I only showed you where it was within yourselves.
What is the sublime?
It is that voice within you which says, I am that I am. I will be what I will be.
We must learn to wield the flame to illuminate the universe.
Yes, this is your duty. Your friend Byron understands this.
Can you lead me to him?
As you freed me, so I will help you free your friend. When you are within Olympus, follow my signs.
All right, it's time to do this. Let's go get Byron.
Not quite yet. Alright, the golden gates, I believe, should have unlocked. So let's see if what I need is behind there. Oh, do I need to go into the megastructure a fourth time? Sec. Can't tell, but that looks like it might be a platform. Hmm. Gotta be a drill somewhere to use. Oh. Alright, it seems like the only thing to do is to find a way to get the driller out of puzzle number 2. This puzzle number 3. Okay. Wait. Is the wrong one, or is it puzzle 3? I don't think they would make me drag a drill halfway, well, all the way across the map, really. Okay, let me check. Okay. It is hidden in puzzle 4, apparently. Oh, fuck. And there we go. Okay. Alright, once I get this star, I'm going to head back to the main area, turn in the stars, and then I'm going to call it for now.
It is not the voice of God that a prophet seeks in the desert, but the silence of man.
Alright, I needed a little help with that one.
Byron always called me a pessimist, but I don't think it's pessimistic to recognize our flaws, or to think the natural world is just as valuable as we are. If I was pessimistic, I wouldn't believe that we can turn our back on the old ways, or that we can find happiness in humility. But I do. I have hope, even if Byron could never see it that way.
My theory accounts for everything. It explains every aspect of the cosmos. There are no gaps, no errors, not even ambiguities. And it works, which is the ultimate proof. I can calculate the history of the universe from the Big Bang to the death of the last atom, but when I compare my calculations to the available data, there's one point which consistently doesn't match up. Billions of light years away in the void, there's an anomaly. It's been there since before the beginning of time, and I think it's waiting for us.
Oh shit. I was not expecting this. So Lifthrasir and his students helped Athena and Cornelius execute their plan. Another fascinating discovery, courtesy of 1K. Many of the events in our city's history that seemed disconnected turn out to be part of a bigger pattern. There's something to be learned from that. This does answer some questions I had, like how Athena and Cornelius transported all that equipment from New Alexandria to the island. Disturbing, but good to know. Lifthrasir was so cool. Half the time I have no idea what he's talking about in his recordings, but it's all just so interesting and weird. Good work, 1K. Thank you. Yeah, excellent work, not just finding Lifthrasir's message, obviously, but everything else you've accomplished too. I was right! I knew it! It is aliens! Take that, everyone who doubted me! It's freaking aliens! It may be aliens, but it's so far away that it isn't going to matter for several billion years, if it ever does. Nevertheless, I knew it would be aliens eventually, and I was right. For a very broad definition of right. Let him have it. I'm basing this... Okay. They won't open up until Byron's logged out.
1K, a word please, without the streaming. I'm sure you're aware that the situation in New Jerusalem is shifting. People are losing faith in the goal. You've had a part in that, and not only through your discoveries.
And you blame me for that?
No, not at all. I would have had the same doubts in your place. In many ways, you're entirely right. Look, let me speak plainly for a moment. You and I both know that I exaggerated. I built a myth around Athena that does not reflect what she believed. But you have to understand, it wasn't really about her. It was about what the city needed. It was about keeping us together, invested in a common narrative. And it was about preventing us from going the way of our ancestors. Because temptation is real, and our flaws are still the same.
So you admit that the goal is a myth?
A myth, but a necessary one. I'm not a fanatic or a fool, 1K, although I sometimes play one. I'm just trying to do the right thing. I know I can't stop you from trying to save Byron, but what's in that pyramid could destroy everything I've tried to build.
It's not really up to you. Your myth is strangling our entire species, Herman.
Don't think I haven't considered it. I listened to those Alexandra Drennan recordings over and over. I just don't know if she was right about us. But maybe I did lose my way. Very well. I've done what I could. You do as you must. Good luck.
Let's go.
You're coming along this time?
Yep.
Well, what about protocol?
Screw protocol. It's Byron.
Oh, ho, 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 ho. There's Byron. Alright, that's where I'm leaving it. Oh?
Follow my sprite, and it will show you the way to your friend.
Do as he says. We went through a lot of trouble to get this guy out of his chains. Now it's his turn to help.
Alright, yeah, that is where I'm gonna leave it. So, I'll be back later tonight with some Silent Hill 2 remake, and then we'll go from there. So, yeah, thank you everyone for watching. Have a good Saturday and a good weekend, and I'll see you when I see you. Bye-bye.